Okay, so this is what a 13 to 12 year old water coolant tank looks like. As you can see, it has, I've been driving on the highway 60 mile an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, and I had steam just pouring out through here. Just not steam, but actually the water coolant. And I just thought it was the light washers coming on, which I didn't think this car had them, and I don't think that it does. Anyway, I pulled over, and sure enough, and the car wasn't at overheating, still at 12 o'clock, the car's temperature. But as you can see here, there's been a failure through pressure. What's caused that pressure? I don't know. Obviously, due to this event, I'm having a bit of a very soft whistling sound, which I didn't recognize before. It has had white smoke coming out the back, but it is colder. But I do think it's related to the event that happened of this exploding. The white smoke goes away when the car's at temperature, and then if you come to an idle, there's no more white smoke. It's just when you start it, but it wasn't doing it before the event, so there's a chance the pressure did push some oil into the turbo area. I mean, that's a possibility. I am getting a whistling sound, not a high whistling, a very soft whistling. And there is definitely a performance issue. I did flush the coolant. It pretty much drains 60-70% of the coolant out. So obviously I replaced the water coolant tank with a new one. I did keep the same cap. Maybe the cap wasn't screwed down completely, so it wasn't allowing pressure to escape. However, if you can see this is just what I've realized just now. Look how brittle this is. I mean, it's all good around here, but when you get to here, look at this. And you can see the cracks here. The crack comes along here, and there's a hole there. So this is the weaker spot. Look at that. There we go. So that's our issue. I wasn't aware. I've only had the car just about 10 weeks now, and I wasn't aware of that failing or going to fail. I wasn't even aware of the weakness, the softness of that plastic there. It was a generally colder day, windy day, so if the car's kind of had a wild temperature swing, it's going to even crack that, compromise it. But one thing we did know is putting this in took a long time. Okay, there's no space. See, there's a tube down there that connects to the bottom. There's no way you can put that on and put the clip on. You have to take it off down there. So that whole tube needs to come out. Then you put it on here and then clip it, because you can't. There's no space in there. Okay, this took a long time. I drained the coolant with DI water. I done it without running the car. Despite there being a big loss of coolant, I just filled the rest up with DI water, distilled water, and undone the radiator bleed valve, which is down there. Very difficult to get to. You have to, whether you've got the tool, I had to fashion a tool to open that up, and that took a long time. So I had to fashion a tool for that, fashion a tool to get down in there, and it took many hours to do all that. And I drained the system without the car running. Okay, so I filled that up with DI water, and you could hear it letting out the air. It was going bloop 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 bloop, so it filled to the top. I just started draining it from there, and I'd take one, I'd just measure how much was coming out. It started off, someone had put blue coolant in, then it went to a very lighter mixture to the point of coming to the DI water. Once I started letting that run, I kept topping this up. As it was draining, I kept topping it up, and then when I started topping it up with the real green Volvo coolant, once it started coming out the bottom, and I was writing down what I was taking out and what I was putting in, and that will give you a good gauge on when you need to stop. And of course, when you know, let the new green coolant start draining for, you know, a litre or so. It's really up to you. I just wanted a proper dilution. I didn't want to skip it. And since then, there has been no more leaks. However, I am getting a potential turbo-related issue. The white smoke indicates possible turbo, though it does go away. So maybe, you know, it's burning off whatever did make it through into the turbo. So I'm yet to really find out. So this is just, if your tank's yellow, give it an inspection. If there's any of that crumbly stuff, get rid of it. That could have caused a head gasket issue. You know what I'm saying? So so that's an update on that, and we're going to check out under it soon to make sure there's no boost leaks. Okay, but from what I'm seeing from up here, I'm not seeing any cracks in the pipes. Like I said, I'm confident my head gasket's fine. There's no bubbles, gas coming out of here, and there's no white milkiness in there. And I've taken it for a few runs. There's just something not right about it since that fucking popped. Okay, so put in the comments what you think it could be, and maybe we'll keep you updated. But that's our problem right there. You know what I'm saying?